So this hair is so not glam enough for today's video, but it's Sunday Bunday, so forgive me for this situation because today we are going to be using some very beautiful, very elegant products, and I wish I was more elegant to match. Hey guys, if we haven't met, I'm Kelly, and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on YouTube, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, then don't forget to subscribe. Now today we are going to be using some very elegant products from Pat McGrath, and I have one of my beautiful friends here on YouTube to thank for that, Miss Yadi over at Yadi Beauty, and she sent me a package recently, and a couple of things I knew would be in there, but all of the Pat McGrath goodies were a very big surprise. I did just post on my Instagram stories about that, and she was so sweet. First of all, I have to say, like, I have been so blessed to find some amazing fellow creators here on YouTube, and we've really started building friendships that are just so supportive, and it's really enriched my life. So thank you, Yadi, for being a huge part of that, and thank you for these amazing gifts. So we are going to be playing with the Pat McGrath Mothership Rose Decadence palette. Now I know that there are so many reviews on this already, but you know, this will be my first foray into an actual, like, I would say full palette. You guys maybe saw that I did the review on the little Eye Ecstasy palette. I can go ahead and link that up here for you guys. But that palette is really like a little, almost like a try before you buy, or like test before you invest. Oh, test before you invest. That is what I'm gonna have to remember that. Anyway, so this is really my first like legit, you know, adult Pat McGrath package. And I did also get 2 of her lippies because Yadi also sent 2 of those. So here is the beautiful packaging on those. I will say, if you are a packaging lover, this is a brand for you. These packages are so beautiful. Like, I could totally see just keeping the boxes and keeping the lipsticks in the boxes because it's so pretty. But I do have 2 of those to share with you today. I am going to use one today, and then I think I'm going to save the other one to use in my second Black-owned beauty brands video. I've been kind of collecting some that I've been trying, and I think that that will be a beautiful one to use as well, but I will certainly swatch that for you guys so you can see the color of it. Anyway, why don't we go ahead and chat a little bit about this palette. Now this palette is $65 and it is limited edition, so if you think you want to snag it, I would pick it up. And it does have 6 gorgeous shades. Now I've been seeing a lot of people in the beauty space here really kind of saying that they're a little bit over the whole like rose theme. But I think every brand, or at least a lot of brands, have their sort of like flagship, if you will, or maybe the theme that they're known for. Like Charlotte Tilbury obviously has Pillow Talk, and that woman has been launching all the Pillow Talk lately, if we're going to talk about like saturating a market with one like branded theme. And then NARS has Orgasm. So I'm wondering if the whole like rose theme is maybe just going to be a pillar sort of like brand vibe for Pat, if that makes sense. I mean, here I am just tiptoeing into the Pat McGrath world, like coming up with my own like theories on her branding. Anyway, I do think that this is very beautiful though, and I think that, you know, with 6 lovely shades that you could do a lot with, it is a great way for someone like myself to be able to try a little bit more from Pat. You know, you do have a couple mattes in here and some gorgeous shimmers, which I think is really, you know, kind of what she's known for. You do have one like multi-chrome shade in here, so thank you, Yadi, because I think that this is a perfect palette for me. So I'm gonna jump right in. We will do some swatches, and then I think I'll do 2 looks for you guys so we can really see the potential in this palette. To be honest, swatching these is super helpful for me to do before I go through. I have not, by the way, like touched this. Those swatches are the first time that I touched this palette, but this is very helpful to me because I found, even when I used this Eye Ecstasy palette, so this is the Subversive Palette. This is what I was talking about, my first like foray into the Pat McGrath formula. So again, I mean, you guys, let's look at the packaging difference between these 2, but this was originally like $25. I did find that they were on sale on the Pat McGrath website, so if they still are on sale, I will like put it up here, and if you guys can catch these. Anyway, where I was going with that is that it's really helpful to swatch these beforehand, because one of the beautiful things about the Pat McGrath shadows is they really are a bit unexpected in the way that they look, in the finishes, and I found that in using both this one, and I did also pick up the Sublime one after trying the Subversive one, and I found that even in these like neutrals that they really pull off a little different than what you would think. So I think that that's a little bit evident in these. I mean, obviously we know that some of the multi-chromes are gonna look different, but they really do swatch so beautifully, and it's great to be able to see, you know, some of those little unexpected things. So let's go ahead and we will zoom you guys in so we can get started with our looks. So for time's sake, I think we will just kind of like speed through these. I will make sure to be posting the palette here so that you guys can see which shade I'm using as we go through. All right, so I'm just gonna take a pause right now before I move on to the other look, just to kind of give you guys my initial thoughts on this. So I think that this looks so soft and lovely. Right off the bat, the mattes are super blendable, super pigmented, like really gorgeous. And, you know, I think that a lot of companies can do shimmers really well because the shimmer just to me seems easier to create as far as like the way it goes on. Like it might not be quite as foiled, but I really find that you can very easily see the quality difference between mattes. Like sometimes lower cost mattes can be really chalky or skippy or not have a lot of pigment, or you start to blend them and they just like dust away into nothing. Now, lower cost means different things to different people, right? I mean, are you talking about a $5 palette? Are you talking about a $35 palette? You know, even a $50 palette. So that's one of those things. But right now, I mean, I am very impressed. I will say I always try to start with using a shimmer completely dry on a dry brush just to really be able to see. These were not the most creamy shades on their own. Like I actually think that the Sydney Grace ones that I have a little bit more of a buttery feel. That's not necessarily like a good or a bad thing. It just kind of depends on your preference. So when I went through with that pink champagne shade, it wasn't coming off like super reflective. So I did decide to add some Fix Plus to be able to kick it up a little bit. Now, that's neither here nor there for me. I've had a lot of different shadow formulas that I need to do that with, but I really think that this looks super beautiful. So now let's get into our more dramatic side. So for this one, I am gonna pull in an extra product just to show you guys, you know, a way that you can take a 6-pan palette and make it a little bit more fun. So I'm gonna play around a little bit with the multi-chrome within that Fuchsia Flame shade. And I talked a little bit about this in my Tiny Marvels video where I was talking about taking a duo or a multi-chrome and playing around by using a base underneath. All right, so sorry for the awkward like in front of my face, but I think that this is the best way to get the camera to pick these up. So here I have a black eyeliner. This is just the Urban Decay 24/7 in 0. And then I have a Laura Mercier Caviar stick. This is Intense Copper up here. So you guys can see that's Fuchsia Flame that I laid over the top. Can you see how that like, you know, really gives it really a fun flip? Actually, I might as well like just lay the color out on its own so that you guys can see that too. So by doing this, it almost changes that flip a little bit. When we put the copper down, that copper that's in this shade sort of blends in, so you see a bit more of that like pinky and almost into purple flip underneath that copper now, or on top of the copper. And then here you're gonna get that almost like intense let's say, rich neon flip from using it over a darker color. So however you want to choose to go. I originally thought that I was going to do over the black, but I think I'm actually going to do it over that copper shade just because I really like that like mega multi-chrome look. And since I haven't used that golden honey shade either, I think that we will draw that into this look. So hopefully that just like gives you guys a little inspiration of how to play around with these shades a little bit. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Guys, here is our final look. Now, I do think that this would look so beautiful with some lashes on, but I just can't today with my eyelids. Like it's not gonna happen. But I hope that that little like addition of that multi-chrome over another shade sort of gave you guys some inspo. I of course did decide to end up using both. I used the Intense Copper Caviar Stick as my base, and then I did go ahead and use that Urban Decay black liner and then smoked the shadow right over the top. And that's that Fuchsia Flame again. So I really like both of these looks. I will say I'm not sure that I would have put that Golden Honey shade on the inner corner just because it is a little bit deep. Like I probably would have loved using the Pink Champagne shade, but I was trying to use every shade in this palette. So I did it. Yeah, we have every shade. So just wanted to make sure that I wasn't lying to you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom out. I will use one of the lippies that Yadi was so nice to send to me, and I will give you guys my final thoughts. So I do again have the two choices here. I have the Astral Balm, and this is the shade Pink Astral. I think that honestly, this is gonna be the one that I use. I think it is so, so pretty. Let me just swatch it here for you guys, especially with that bold eye look we have. But I think that this like flecky, actually you guys will be able to see because it's up next to this eyeshadow. This goes really well with that Fuchsia Flame. So I think that this would be a lovely shade to choose. And then we also have the Lip Fetish Divinal Lip Shine in the shade Temptress. This looks so pretty. Smells good too. Let me pop that one right next to, oh yeah. And this is like, this is a formula right up my alley. It is very, very creamy and very, very like just luscious and lustrous. So that is Temptress right there. So pretty. I want to smell this one too. They smell pretty close to the same. Just that delicious like vanilla-y smell. Now, just to give myself a little bit of definition on my lips, I'm gonna go through with the Charlotte Tilbury Super Size Me just right along the edges, and then we'll fill in with the balm. Okay, so you guys can see this shade is very close to my own lip color, but I just wanted to like really define that like outer edge. As I'm getting older, it's just like withering away to nothing, so I needed a little help there. So now we're gonna go over with this balm, and I'm so excited. Yeah. Now I will say, because of the glitter in this, I probably should have like exfoliated my lips beforehand. but for being so sparkly, it's not like super aging. Oh, it smells so good. What do you guys think? I'm digging it. It's like modern Barbie. And this packaging, like this is everything to me. You guys, if you could see my like computer case, it's very, very close to this. I love this like rosy sparkle. Mine is like a little bit more rose gold over my laptop, but these are very, very close to each other. So what do you guys think? Does it go better with one side? I think this color actually like goes really well with both. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much, Yadi. That is so amazing. This is like perfect. I would have chosen this one for myself. All right, so final thoughts on this collection. I love it. You guys, I'm actually, man, you know, this is one good thing about having friends like this, but also a very dangerous thing, because I can totally see myself. If I see a color story coming out from Pat in the future, I will probably snag it, because these eyeshadows are very, very good. And in all honesty, it was the mattes more than anything that really impressed me. And I talked a little bit about that, but I mean, they just like went on, blended so beautifully, but like still have separation. Like the areas where I put the peach shade just to add some warmth, I still feel like I can see that slide into that like sunset tone a little bit more, but they just went on so lovely. And I would wear both these looks. I will wear both these looks. I'm really enjoying it. I actually will be wearing this for the rest of the day because I'm gonna test out the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray one side with the spray that I currently use, and then I will go ahead and spray one side with the Charlotte Tilbury just so we can like see the final result. So if you guys don't want to miss out on my thoughts on that setting spray, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. But Yadi, thank you so much for this sweet, sweet gift. Thank you so much for your friendship. I, of course, will make sure to link Yadi's channel down below so you guys can check her out as well. She has a review of this collection and many other wonderful videos. She is such a sweet soul, so I hope you guys will support her channel as well. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. For those of you that have been here with me on my channel, you have no idea how much it means to me to be seeing your comments. I really started this page to be able to interact with all of you, start conversations about makeup, and again, just have fun. So thank you guys so much. I will see you really soon. I'm actually probably going to be wearing these for the rest of the day because I'm going to be testing the new Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Airbrush business. What is that freaking called?